Hello and welcome to Roadmap 2015. I'm Gbenga Ashiru. The impeachment attempt on the governor of Nasarawa State, Governor Al Makura, by the State Assembly on a 16-count charge including misappropriation of 13 billion naira is taking a most dramatic twist. Now, as what was expected to be an easy fry by the Nasarawa State Assembly is now turning into a fierce battle between the two camps. Now, the controversies seem to boil down to the challenge of meeting due process and the serving of impeachment notice, as every effort to serve the governor an impeachment notice in person has proved abortive. In the same vein, Nasarawa Assembly is constrained to publish this impeachment notice on the dailies. Here seems to be the big question, and the question is the governor bound to respond to allegations on the pages of daily? What section of the law makes provision for this, as Section 188 of the Nigerian Constitution isn't really explicit on this issue? On the other hand, doesn't the governor owe it to the people of Nasarawa State to at least clear the air on these allegations, considering what's at stake and also for the sake of integrity? At the moment, the Assembly has directed the Chief Judge of the state to set up a 7-man panel of inquiry. But in doing this, can this be done without the court granting a substituted service of impeachment? These are indeed very complicated issues, but first, let's have a background report on the recent standoff in Nasarawa State. The long-drawn impeachment attempt on the governor of Nasarawa State, Tanko Al Makura, seemed to be raising much anxiety in what bookmakers call the battle for the soul of Nasarawa.
Because we want Al Makura for this Nasarawa State. We don't want any person to challenge Al Makura.
Having survived 8 impeachment attempts, the Nasarawa Assembly now feels it holds the trump card for the impeachment of Governor Al Makura, with a 16-count allegations which include misappropriation of 13 billion naira.
The implementation of the previous year budget was poor until the issue raised are investigated. So we finished our investigation recently, and we are now ready to serve him with the impeachment notice.
However, the 16-count charges seem to have more undertone than meets the eye, as 2015 is around the corner in the APC-controlled state but the PDP-dominated assembly.
The Constitution talks about supplementary appropriation. If the governor spends more money than what has been approved for him within a fiscal period, it follows, therefore, that the governor will send an appropriation to rectify what has been spent. And whereas, if there is no vote given within the same fiscal year period, what the governor is expected to do is to send in a supplementary budget to request for more funds to spend. So what is the assembly talking about?
If the Nasarawa Assembly had expected a smooth eviction of the governor, their calculations seem to have given Governor Al Makura's camp a last grip with Section 188, subsection 2 and 3, which gave provision for a relief of court order for a substituted service of impeachment to be served. While the two camps are now gathering to win support and to seek political advantage in Nasarawa, the coming days may be holding a more dramatic tidings in this battle for political survival. Well, at the moment, the embattled governor of Nasarawa State is saying the impeachment attempt is politically motivated and it's aimed at suffocating opposition party. Now, in an interview with his senior special assistant, Honorable Abdulhamid Kwara, it says the Nasarawa State Assembly should follow due process according to the provision of the law. But why is the governor not making himself available to be served the impeachment notice? Now, Honorable Kwara insisted the Assembly, the Nasarawa State Assembly, must get an order of substituted service of impeachment before the Chief Judge can proceed with setting up of a 7-man panel of inquiry. Now, let's hear from the Nasarawa State Governor spokesman in this exclusive interview with Channels Television. Is Governor Al Makura not riding too far on the crest that is not been properly served an impeachment notice?
There is no dispute about the fact that Nasarawa State House of Assembly sat on Monday, the 14th of July, 2014. During that sitting, they resolved to serve the governor with an impeachment notice. That is to say, today is in the public realm, or is a public knowledge, that an impeachment machinery in Nasarawa State has been set in motion by members of the Nasarawa State House of Assembly. But what we are seeing, please, I have said this time without number again and again. Nasarawa State House of Assembly, as at this time that I'm talking to you, is yet to, or we are yet to receive or be officially given the notice of service of impeachment to His Excellency, the Governor of Nasarawa State.
As a government of the people, doesn't it owe it a duty to explain and address some of these allegations? 13 billion naira has been in question, which including 16 count allegations against Governor Al-Makura.
Here is an allegation. We don't know the extent, how true, because until and unless an allegation is given to you formally to say this is what it is, you cannot act on the basis of assumptions or speculations or preemptiveness on the pages of newspaper to which we are not even sure. Is it the Nasarawa State House of Assembly that has even published that? Any other person can have access to that kind of a document and publish it. How do you justify? What is the justification? What is the proof that what has been published in the paper is an act of the State House of Assembly? This is the question. It's not a question of integrity. Oh, not two ways about it. Please, when the governor took his oath of office, he said, prudent management of public funds, transparency and accountability is going to be the fulcrum of my administration. And the man has not deviated, or there has been no connection or departure from this standpoint on principles and integrity. No two ways about it.
So what now do you think is responsible for the recent turmoil in Nasarawa State?
Destabilizing the APC state is simply a matter of political strategy for the PDP and, of course, a game of survival. That is one. Two, locally or back here in Nasarawa State or at home, it's a conflict of interest between the state legislature and the governor on one hand, whereas the governor at the point in time had wanted to restore democratic structures in the local government system. Members of the assembly will prepare transition management committee. What that follows means that they would want them to appoint leadership for the local government rather than an election. But the governor insisted on restoration of political structures in the local government system for one reason. One, a referendum and an assessment or evaluation of his administration, and two, a referendum and an assessment on the popularity of the same members of the State House of Assembly. Behold, in that election, APC won in 9 local governments. By implication, or what that simply means is that all the legislators in those local governments have virtually lost their seat come 2015 election. So it's also a survival game.
Could this allude to some reports that there was an earlier terms of agreement that Governor Tanko Al-Makura was not sticking to? Because we have reports that he was meant to come back to the PDP after winning the 2011 elections. Could you clarify this?
Absolutely misplaced. In the first place, he left the PDP because of lack of internal democracy. Because he knew if he had remained in the PDP, he would go nowhere nearer even winning the primaries, to talk about the election. So he left the PDP into what I mean by unknown or barely known is the fact that nobody knew of CPC at that time. Because the CPC as a political party was just registered. And nobody had any hope that a political party of the nature of CPC can even win election. And the only place, and in fact, to the governor, when I said not of much political influence, because he has been out of politics for long and has concentrated in his business. So for him to just suddenly emerge, okay, and at the same time to defeat a sitting government that have all the apparatus, they have the backing of the federal government, they have the resources, they have the structures, they have every other thing, for 12 good years holding sway in the administration of the state. I mean, it is just not easy to forget the dream. It's just not easy.
Who has the right to serve the governor a relief of court order? Because it seems that is where the polity is right now.
You see, anything that has to do with substituted service, you need to get a relief of court. And that is entirely a judicial process. You have to go to the court, you file in a motion requesting the court for a relief to be able to serve somebody. The House of Assembly does not have such, it cannot arrogate to itself powers that do not belong to it. As a law instrument, as a house that has primary responsibility to make laws, it doesn't have to also give to itself powers that does not belong to it.